welcome to this morning's Year 9 live lesson. Okay, we've got a bit of speed, distance and time today. What I'd like you to do is pause the video now and have a go at the challenge grid in front of you. I'm going to go through each one individually. So, what we got on the first one, okay, you will need a calculator today, by the way. Okay, so you should have paused the video by now, had a go at the challenge grid. Hopefully you've finished. Make sure you've got a calculator with you, don't use it for the starter. 1,620 divided by 5. 5 doesn't go into 1, so carry the 1 over. 5 goes into 16 3 times, remainder 1. 5 goes into 12 twice, remainder 2. 5 goes into 24 times, so my answer is 324. Next, I got 283 plus 926. Make sure everything hugs the right hand side. 6 plus 3 is 9. 2 plus 8 is 10. And 9 plus 2 plus 1 is 12. So my answer is 1,209. 38 times 82, okay, we've done these a million times, okay, it's up to you which one you want to use, whichever method. I like this one, is so straightforward. 38 times 82, okay, 3 times 8 is 24, 8 times 8 is 64, 3 times 2 is 6, and 8 times 2 is 16. So I've got a 6 in my first slide, I've got a 6, a 4 and a 1, which is 11, I've got a 4, a 6 and a 0 and a 1, which makes 11 as well, and a 2 and a 1, which makes 3. So my answer is 3,116. Next, a bit of solving equations. So I'm going to take away 11 from both sides. 3x moves straight down. 11 take away 11 makes nothing. 32 take away 11 is 21. Then I'm going to divide by 3 to get x on its own. 21 divided by 3 just gives you 7. 4.8 take away 1.63. Now, different to hugging to the right hand side, we're going to line the decimal points up correctly. 4.8, 1.63. So they don't all hug the right on this one. They make sure the decimal points are lined up perfectly. Any gaps, fill them in with a 0. 0 take away 3, I can't do it, so I'm going to change the 8 into a 7. And I'm going to give 1 over to the 0 to make it into a 10. 10 take away 3 is 7. 7 take away 6 is 1. 4 take away 1 is 3. 3.17. Next, expand the bracket first. You want to get rid of this, okay? 4 times x is 4x. Oh, I moved over, I didn't mean to. 4 times x is 4x squared. 4x times 2 is 8x. 6x just goes on the end. Now you'll notice that these two are the same thing. So 4x squared moves down to the next line. 8x plus 6x is 14x. So 4x squared plus 14x. Okay, next I've got 3 over 5 times 2 over 7. With times in fractions, you just times the top times the bottom. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 7 is 35. That can't be simplified, so 6 over 35 is your final answer. Next, a bit of ratio. Okay, I've got 6 on the left and 5 on the right. Okay, £88 is what we're dealing with. Add the shares at first. 6 plus 5 is 11 shares. Then I've got 11 shares altogether. £88 divided by my number of shares gives me £8 per share. Because it's £8 per share. On the left hand there's 6 of them. 6 times 8 is 48. On the right hand there's 5 of them. 5 times 8 is 40. 40 and 48 add to make your original amount, so you know you're correct. Very last one, okay? The important thing with this, 3 things you need to remember: keep, change, flip. Okay, we did this a couple of weeks back as a topic. Okay, so that live lesson is on YouTube somewhere. Keep, change, flip. You're going to keep the left hand side the same. 5 over 8 is going to stay there. Okay, bit over bit changes to a times, and this one over on the right hand side flips upside down. 3 over 1. 5 times 3 is 15. 8 times 1 is 8. Okay, that can be simplified to 1 whole and 7 over 8 if you want to, or just leave it as a top every fraction. It's okay. Okay, guys, so that should be all marked up. If there's any of those topics you're struggling with, they're all on the YouTube channel somewhere. You've just got to find them, okay? It's important to get good at those because we're going to be moving on. These are like the fundamentals of Year 9. Right then, so what we're going to do first, speed, distance, and time. Change the following into hours, from hours and minutes, into hours written as a decimal. So the only thing you're going to be working with is either seconds or hours written as a decimal when we got speed, distance, and time. To do that, I'm going to help you do it, okay? The first one, this one by here on the left, okay? 1 hour and 30 minutes, 30 on the end. I've got to change that bit into a decimal, so it's going to be 1 point something. Okay, 1 point, 30 on the end. If you take it and divide it by however many minutes are in an hour, 30 divided by 60 minutes is 0.5. So my answer is 1.5. Same thing on the next one, 2 hours and 36 minutes. 36 divided by 60 gives me 0.6, so my answer is 2.6. Then the last one, same thing, 51 divided by 60 gives me 0.85, so my answer is 1.85. You're changing the minutes bit into a decimal. What I'd like you to do, guys, pause the video now and have a go at that. Okay, that's a really important skill to have. Right, guys, the video should be unpaused, so the answers you should have got: 2.75, 1.2, 3.6 recurring, or you could write 3.7. Okay, 2.3 recurring. We got 3.45, 1.83 recurring, 2.95, 1.7, 2.52, 2.28, 3.47, and 1.07. Okay, those are your answers. Okay, make sure those are marked. It's all in hours. Okay, make sure those are marked up for me. That's going to be a really important skill moving on today. Right then, so speed, distance, and time, the way it works, you're going to be using this triangle over here, and it's really important you get to grips with how to use it. Okay, so what you need to do, Paula drove a distance of 270 miles in 5 hours. Okay, what was her average speed? Now, every time you do a question like this, you need to write this triangle down. Every single time. You need to write a new one down. Okay, Paula drove a distance of 270 miles in 5 hours. What was her average speed? So we're trying to work out speed. So speed equals, now if you take your thumb and you put it over the letter S on the triangle, you should have left D/T. That means distance divided by time. Okay, so you put your thumb over the letter S, what you'll be left with is distance divided by time. So that's telling you what you're working out is. If you cover distance with your thumb, you'll have speed times time. If you cover time with your thumb, you'll have distance divided by speed. Okay, the triangle tells you what you're working out is going to be. So speed equals distance divided by time. My distance is 270 miles. My time is already in hours, so I can leave it there. 270 divided by 5 gives you 54. And your units are whatever you've dealt with. Miles and hours, so it's going to be miles per hour. Really straightforward. Same thing on B. Okay, but we're finding a different thing. Now we're finding how far is it from Sheffield to Peebles. Okay, distance is the thing we're finding. Distance equals, if I cover distance with my thumb, is speed times time. So distance equals speed times by time. My speed is 60 miles per hour times by a time of 3.5 hours, so 3.5 hours. 60 times 3.5 gives me 210. We're looking for distance, so it's 210 miles. Okay, last one. Sean is going to drive Newcastle to Nottingham, a distance of 190 miles. He estimates he'll drive at an average speed of 50 miles per hour. How long will it take him? This time we're looking for time, so time equals, if you cover time with your thumb, you'll notice that time is distance divided by speed. Distance is 190 miles divided by a speed of 50 miles per hour. That's going to take him 3.8 hours. Okay? Right, guys, pause the video now and make sure those examples are down. It's really important you get the triangle down. Make sure that's written in your book. Okay, that's the most important thing to do with speed, distance, time. Once you get that, it's easy. Right then, guys, moving on. So, a couple of questions you'd have a go at. Okay, the formulas are on the left hand side, just in case you don't remember the triangle. Okay, if you want the triangle in there, okay, it looks S, D, T. Looks something like that. Have a go at those. Pause the video now and have a go. Right, guys, you should have gotten something that looks like that. Those should be your answers. Okay, cool. Right then, so once you pause the video, mark those for me, please. A little bit of an extension task, task 2. Okay, I'd like you to fill in the missing gaps in here. Okay, that's your distance, that's your time. Okay, that is speed on the left. Fill in any missing gaps. If you need a bit of extra practice, you can use this, okay? Pause the video, fill in it if you need any extra practice. If you don't worry, just chill and wait until the final GCSE task. Have a go at the ones on the right hand side as extension task if you really get this. Right guys, those should be done, okay? I've put the answers up for the ones on the right hand side as well. Okay? That should be all done. Make sure those are marked for me, please. Just a little bit of extra practice for you. What I'd like you to do now, even though we're in year 9, we're going to have a go at a GCSE question. So I'd like you to pause the video for me and have a go at that. And then after that, I'm going to go through it. Right then guys, hopefully you had a good go at it, okay? What we've got Gwenda enjoys road running. She keeps a record of a run each day this week, okay? Those were her records. Last week her average speed for the week was 9.6 kilometers per hour, okay? Gwenda's percentage improvement in her average speed from last week to this week, you must show your working. So I don't expect you to be able to do this straight away. Okay, percentage improvement is a slightly different topic to what we're working out. Okay, so I don't expect you to be able to do that immediately. What I'd expect you to be able to do is work out the speed, your average speed this week. So in order to do that, I've got to add all these bits up. I've got to add up whatever's in her table. I've got to add up her times. And I've got to add up her distances. If you add up all those distances on your calculator, you should get 31.2 kilometers. If you add up all those times, you should get 180 minutes. Remember, we don't want time in minutes, so we're going to change that into hours. So that'll be, if you divide that by 60, it gives you 3 whole hours. So her speed this week, remember your triangle, speed, distance, and time. Cover your S, you're working out as distance divided by time. Her speed this week is 31.2 divided by 3, because we're working in hours, remember, gives you 10.4 kilometers per hour. Okay, this week. Now the percentage improvement bit is easy, but it's kind of a bit tagged on the end. It doesn't really get taught very often, so don't worry too much if you did get it wrong. Now the percentage improvement, you do this week's time, take away last week's time, all divided by last week's time. So, and if I times that by 100 then to get it into a percentage, I end up with 8.3% improvement. Now this last bit, I wouldn't expect you to get that right, but it's a 6-mark question, a huge question. This is the important bit, okay? If you got to there, probably 3 or 4 marks okay, out of the 6. Okay, so that's really, really good. Okay, just going to add that in.